Now
Hey
say that,
everybody.
Blaine.
Hey everybody, welcome to the For Long Haul podcast. This is our pre-show banter, which is going to go on for 5 minutes. So if you want to skip this, you just go to the 5 minute mark, and that's when we're going to start our show, give or take a few seconds. So we got to hurry now because we have a time limit. But The Terrifier 2 is a new scary movie that's out, and I want to see it. My girlfriend is not interested because it's really bloody and it's like Saw kind of, and I watched a little bit of a trailer with her, and when she saw him like hit the guy's face and blood splatter against the wall, she was like, "No, I don't think so." And I was like, "Oh, come on, it's scary." And she's like, "No, it's just bloody and gory and stuff." No.
I mean,
So
see, I don't mind movies like that, but the thing I don't like about horror and all that, I don't like it to be bloody and gory just for the sake of being bloody and gory. That's why some stuff has detracted me, like from like anime, TV shows, and all that, because like it just does gore just to be gore. I'm like, don't do gore just for the sake of gore and all that.
I agree. I'm just saying people say it's one of the best scary movies it's been in a while, is what I've heard. And so my point is I don't want gore just for gore. I want a scary movie with story. And I hate scary movies that are shallow and just jump scares. They're terrible. That's all it is scares, and it has like the simplest timeline of what's going on. I'm not interested in those.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, yeah, I didn't know about that movie. I just looked it up. It's definitely, I think, an indie film.
Yeah, it's a smaller production, and so they're only in like 600 theaters right now. They're slowly rolling out to more, and they're in one nearby here. But
Oh.
I haven't went to see it.
See, like I told Blaine before, you gotta make a compromise. Be like, hey, we go watch this, then we go watch movie that you want to watch. And the example I gave to him was The Notebook, because that's a typical cliche. Like every girl wants to watch that, but the guy never wants to watch that movie.
Well, the thing is, we're not going to go back within 2 weeks probably to see another movie.
Mhm.
So that compromise is not good
Well, I mean,
because
The Notebook
it'll
you
be
can just
gone.
stream though.
But then that's also not the same experience. Like if she wants to go have a movie theater experience, she's probably gonna want to have that with her other cool movie, right? So that's not a fair trade. Let's have a movie theater experience and eat food and popcorn while watching a movie I want to watch. But when we watch your movie, we're gonna sit in the house and not eat anything. Or you know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay. Fair point on that. Now,
So
hold on.
there's that.
Okay,
You
so
got 2 minutes.
me and Blaine sometimes, I don't think this will take me 2 minutes. Me and Blaine sometimes record these back to back to back, depending on how our schedules work out. And the last one I got distracted towards the end because I got a phone call from one of my coworkers. I just messaged him saying, "Hey man, I can't talk on the phone right now. What's up?" He was like, "Oh," it was like, oh, "Okay, I thought you were dashing. Are you dashing?" I was like, "No, I'm not dashing. Why? Did you get a dasher named Brandon?" It was like, "Yeah." I was like, "No way, this guy got off at 5 o'clock. Just opened up the app," because I said multiple times I haven't dashed in a couple of months and all that. I don't think I've dashed since May or June.
Okay.
So like everybody knows that, because I've kind of talked about that, like how I got burnt out and all that and haven't done. He was like, "No way, this guy just randomly opened up the app and all that and decided to dash," and I got him and all that. Which I
Oh,
think, which we were talking about, is I am 99% sure I have dashed to him, either him or his brother, at least once.
okay.
Because
Your
like
friend, not
my
your friend.
coworker and all that. It was
Yeah.
either
Okay.
my coworker. It's like I either DoorDashed him or his brother, which they both live together and all that.
Yeah.
Before I started working over there,
Okay. There you go.
which is like fun little fact. But, he was like, "No way, Brandon. It's like is my dasher right now," and like he got me and all that. And I'm like, "Nah, not me. I'm
Um,
I'm I'm surprised there's another Brandon in town that's DoorDashing."
I haven't
I
done it yet.
I'm kind of thinking about doing it again, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to. The only reason I kind of want to is because holidays are coming up, make a little bit of extra money and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. I downloaded the
I
app, signed into the account for the first time in like half a year, I think.
uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm gonna see how I feel about it. I
Well,
may just
I
call it
have
something.
wanted to do it on my bike. I haven't made any effort to, but we have only 20 seconds left. I started the timer. But I've wanted to do it on my bike because I thought it would be fun and I just make some extra cash and just like use that to pay, bike. And I thought that would be cool, but this is gonna be the final statement. So okay. Well
Could you not see the
technically
timer in the corner?
Yeah, but we were off by like 8 seconds, so I set a different timer. All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to the For Long Haul podcast. Thanks if y'all were sitting in for the pre-show banter. If not, that's cool too. We're just happy you're
You
here.
know, I'm surprised it took us that long to figure out how to do that correctly.
I mean, we're doing it.
Yeah,
So today, this is Blaine sitting alongside,
Brandon.
and like every other day. And today, we're gonna talk about kind of like holiday checklist, not just money wise for the holidays, just about being prepared for
Yeah.
the holidays and everything that comes with that.
Try not to do everything last minute that would make your life and everybody else's life a little bit easier and all that. Now, do
Yeah.
you want to start with the money stuff or do you want to save that for last and go through all the other important stuff?
I think we should do the other stuff first. Maybe we'll
Okay,
hit
okay.
money
Yeah,
stuff last,
that's
but we don't need to be hard on the money stuff because we kind of did. We do
yeah,
some stuff about that, just like the urgent announcement for Black Friday stuff.
yeah.
So
Which, speaking of which, I've actually got some notifications about some Black Friday deals recently at GameStop. Or well, not GameStop. Via Reddit, I've got some notifications about some Black Friday deals already.
here's a random announcement for a deal. I don't know if it's still going, but Epic. Oh, this is going to be gone. Fallout 3 is free, by the way, Brandon. If you want Fallout 3 on PC, it's free on Epic Games. But you don't have like a gaming. You can put it on your laptop. I don't know.
Yeah,
You got one of those
but
swanky laptops. But
but
we'll carry on.
yeah. Well, like
So
one of the first things, at least like for people like me, like you're gonna be traveling, you gotta figure out, you gotta try to put your days off as fast as you can whenever you know you're gonna be out of town or out of state or out of country, as is my case sometimes, some years. Put that in as
yeah,
soon as you can, because depending on how your job does it, sometimes it's either by seniority that gets off first, or by who puts it in first, or by like who hasn't asked off that much, or like stuff like that. Like different
yeah.
places do it differently. You know, it's always easier to get it the sooner the better, and all that, in my personal opinion.
You get more. It's always better suited better, especially some places are seniority. Yeah, but a lot of places are just kind of there's X amount of people that can take it, and so they'll do by who asked off first. So if you asked off 2 months in advance for around December holidays, and they're only gonna let 4 people off out of 10, well then you were the prepared one who has been planning this stuff, and
Yeah,
so they're gonna let you off more likely. And so that's a big one is thinking far ahead, not just next week, far ahead for making the plans now. If you're going somewhere, if you haven't already done that, besides asking off for it, you got to ask off for it. You got to get that off. And then you got to make plans like, hotels or flights if you're a long distance family that
or
need to go to
driving.
those different places or driving. Maintenance on your vehicle. If you're going to be driving, hey, do you have old tires? I'm about to drive a lot of miles for hunting and stuff like that in the holidays. I just got a brand new set of tires because they were time to go. And my dad was like, "You need some new tires." I'm like, "I guess you're right." And because he mentioned that, he was like, "You're about to be driving a whole lot. It's a good idea because in hindsight, you're gonna rather have a new set of tires if it's time and you're close to needing a new one." Which I was not close. I was at needing a new one,
Yeah,
and not bald, but I was at it. And so you're
it's
gonna,
kind
in
of like one of my
hindsight,
uncles, not bald but almost there.
pretty much. And I got everything I could get out of them, pretty much, except if I would have rotated them, it would have been a little bit better. But like the front were there and the back were little past there. Not still not bald, but in hindsight, you're gonna look back. If you have to fix a flat tire on the way to something, you're gonna be a little unhappy that you just didn't get your tires a week before. Having to on a trip to go somewhere by a specific time, and your freaking tire, you have a flat, you have to fix on the side of the highway. Not ideal. Not to mention, if you have a hard time getting the lug nuts off, sometimes they're over tightened and it's very difficult
Hmm.
or
Oh,
dangerous.
oh, you could be like me one year. Well, I wasn't gonna be back in the States until probably 3 or 4 days after the new year, and my stickers were gonna be expired by that one because I had all of December to change them, and I did it like a day before I was supposed to head out and all that, and like before I drove down to meet up with my dad. Then we took his truck down to Mexico. I didn't want to have to drive all the way back up, like about 7 or 8 hours, and like be maybe pulled over by a car that says, "Hey, why is your stickers expired and all that? You had all of December to do it." I'm like, "Oh, so sorry." So I was out of country for like a week. Is that
Yeah.
question? And I didn't want to they could have been cool, but it could have been like they could have been the hard asses to be like, "Oh, why didn't you do it before you left the country?"
Yep. And I know you get at least 60 days. You may get 90 to renew your registration. So
No, wait,
you
it was a
get to
sticker. Is the
keep the
sticker the
month.
registration?
It's all in one. 2 steps, one
Okay.
sticker in Texas. So your inspection
It's
and registration is all on the same sticker now. And
since
so I
since
don't know since when.
2015.
It's been a minute. But
Yeah.
you can do that 60 to I know 60, maybe 90 days before it expires. So therefore, and you also when you do that, you don't lose your month or whatever. You keep that same month. Just like how if you don't go about renewing your sticker, you go a month late, you don't get an extra month. You get the same month. So all you've done is just ride potentially getting a ticket this whole time or getting pulled over and then getting harassed when you were already speeding about your inspection being out, which doesn't help you at all. So you can get it done early if you need to.
Yeah. Oh, like I also made sure my oil was changed and everything before I went down south to meet up with my
That's
dad and
another
all that.
one. Gonna drive a
Also,
long trip. New
if
oil,
you're
just
if you're somebody that's leaving the country, make sure your passport's up to date and all that. Try to get that as done as soon as you can. If it's not, you don't want to be paying the extra money. Like I can't remember how much it is to get like within the same week. Like
expedite. Yeah.
expedite. There's different levels of the expediting for the passport and all that. And it gets more obviously it gets more expensive the faster you want it done. You don't want to be paying X amount of money just because you forgot to renew it and all that. I was talking to
And
my
then the
dad.
holidays, more
Yeah,
people renewing.
yeah. See, I was talking to my dad about this, and I was like, "Oh, hold on." And I looked for my passport. I was like, "Okay, I got like 4 more years. I'm good."
4 more years.
Because I think I did it every 10 years instead of every like 4 or 6 years.
You can pay for a different length.
You can pay for more pages and different length.
Oh, huh.
So
That's
I did
interesting.
the longest and more pages.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So other things. So we've got planning long-term trips and everything, or using your vehicle and whatnot. And I mean, this one's obvious, but for those of you who don't, and I'm not the best, I still do, but making your packing list for what you need to have with you when you go. So, and obviously for things like you need your clothes, your underwear. Maybe you're going to like a new spot. Maybe you need snow equipment or like cold gear or like warmer clothes. Considering that we are going somewhere, like you're gonna go snowboarding, you remember you need your boots and the board and your goggles and stuff. I haven't snowboarded, but there you go. And but then other than that is all the gifts for the family members when you go there for that event. Is not forgetting those family members, and you got a gift for each one of those that you tend to give to. Not forgetting one of them, beforehand, so you bought it already in time, but also at the same time not leaving it behind because then you have to mail it. That costs you extra money. Not to mention you didn't have it with you when you had the family get together. So that's one thing that is just it's an easy thing to forget because it's not a big deal. But if you make a checklist, it's going to help you not forget those items that you need. Like you're bringing your dog. What about your leash? You can let him go outside. Like you can easily forget a leash, and then now you got to go buy a leash. So just little stuff like that. Things you're gonna know you're gonna need your chargers and all that stuff. I don't want to get too detailed about this little stuff, but that stuff is it's just gonna make a smooth sail and less stress, which is really important during the holidays. Having less stress with everything going on, this checklist will help you eliminate some of that.
Segueing into that and from that, also, where you guys are gonna go? Are you guys gonna go out of state, out of country, out of town on Thanksgiving? Are you guys gonna? Is your family gonna meet up at a son and relative's house? Is it gonna be enough room for you there, or are you gonna have to get a hotel or stay with another relative in the area, something like that? Or if you're in a relationship, are we gonna go to your parents for Christmas or Thanksgiving? Are we gonna go to which one are we gonna go for mine? Or are we just gonna host this year and try to be adults and host this year? Or
Yeah.
can we host? Or are we just not gonna go visit family, maybe just stay in town, have some friends over, etc.
And then, if you're not going to see some family, you need to remember you need to call those people that you have good relationships with because A, they're going to appreciate that, but B, you know, you'll be glad that you called them to some extent, typically. But more importantly, they'll be really happy you did, like parents and stuff like that. People you have good relationships with, reaching out to those people, not forgetting to do that. Also, some people, really big on sending cards, and all the older generations really like those. And so, like my parents, my mom, my grandparents love to have cards. So if I'm not gonna see somebody, like sending a card is like big for them. So like my mom or my dad's birthday, getting a card for that was like if I didn't send a card, I don't think I sent my dad a card, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't get a card," and I was like, "What?"
Did you at least call?
Yeah, I called, but like I can't believe, like I would give cards, but I think when I did give him a card, he was just like, "Oh, uh," which I was not something I was expecting. My mom told me. My dad didn't say anything, but my mom was like, he was like, "I didn't get a card," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's hard to believe that you did that.
I don't know in what fashion, but of the sense of he would have liked a card.
Yeah,
So
but
he knows my dad. People who know my dad know.
yeah. Oh god, I still remember 2 years ago whenever whenever we got on blacked out drunk.
Mm,
Oh, that was hilarious.
yeah.
But
So you got that, and so
also derailing from that into this other one, if you're gonna go to your hometown, you can message your friends you haven't seen in a while. Be like, hey, I'm gonna be in town maybe for a couple of days and all
ooh,
that. You're gonna be free on this
that's
or this
super
day, so that
good.
way we can meet up, catch up a little bit.
That one is a good one, and that one's not thought about. Like I think about it when I come to town, and but that one's a really good one because if you're gonna come to town just for a day to see your family, well then there's not really much time. But if you're coming and you're gonna stay for a couple days or a weekend or something, if you really want to, maximize your time and you want to see your friends, but hey, sometimes you forget, then you get into like, hey, do anything? Like, oh, I'm busy. But in reality, if you would have said something a week or two beforehand, they probably could have made a couple hours for you
Yeah,
and you could have done something. And
yeah,
so that's one that's you don't think about. That one's a really good one.
yeah. That's because like not that we if you go to if you your friends don't want to see you when you come back to town, but it's that I think this is something a YouTuber I watched said. As you get older, sometimes you don't talk to everybody or see them every single day. But like, it doesn't mean like you're on bad terms with them. It's just that they got shit going on. You got shit going on. You guys will try to make some time, but it's not gonna be as often sometimes because they got stuff. You got stuff.
Yeah.
Schedules sometimes collide.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. And I do that, especially when it was a while since I got down there.
Oh
I was
yeah,
really doing that, like when I hung out with Junior and stuff and like y'all. And I was like, we should do something, and it made it people aware I was coming to town. So they wanted to do something, they would think about, being around to some nature
yeah. Then if
and
you give them a
making
heads,
time.
like Blaine said, if you give them a heads up, they can. Now that it sounds like you're a chore or like you're a bother with Pinsinian because as we get older, we got a bunch of stuff going on, and some life gets busy. Sometimes we forget about stuff.
Like Brandon will go with Jay to like Fort Worth, Dallas to do stuff.
Yeah,
And because that's what you do when you live in Granbury, you kind of have to. And so, like, if I showed up in town, I didn't say anything. I was like, "Hey, man, you want to hang out?" He could have just left to go to Fort Worth, Dallas, and gonna be there for enough 5 hours till he gets home. If it wasn't for that, if I would have said something prior, maybe a week before, maybe even the day before, he would have been like, "Okay, we'll stay in town for 2 more hours, and we'll go
yeah.
have lunch, and then we'll go."
Or it would be like,
So yeah,
or it would be like, hey, you want to come with us? Which is probably gonna go to mall, then Barnes and Nobles, then maybe grab some food, then head back.
exactly. And
That's
so
typically what we tend to do.
So that's a really big one I don't think is mentioned hardly. Is just catch up with the friends that you don't get to see hardly and try to make plans with them inside of when you're going to be there.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's more easy to meet up with somebody if you guys like young people. Would not understand this. We didn't really understand this until we got older. But setting a date ahead of time to just hang out with friends and all that, you're gonna have to do that because life's gonna get busy. Work, family, school, all that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's big. Like I could be somebody could show up here out of the blue, which would not happen without them saying something. But if
Yeah.
they were to, like I could be, for example, going hunting a weekend because of this holiday season, or I could be like I'm going for a ride and I could be like an hour away
Or
and I
you
could not be checking my cell phone.
Or you could be staying three hours after work for a catering event. Like you did, like
Exactly.
what was that, a week or two ago, right?
Last week, I think,
Okay, yeah.
actually. So that's yeah. So if you want these things to happen, you should give advance. A, because it's nice for you to have it because you know it's going to happen, but B, for them to be able to make plans for you and or at least try to if they don't have anything going on. Uh,
Which actually reminds me, a buddy told me he was going to be in town next week. I forgot to ask him what day.
Dude,
I got
you told me that, didn't you?
no.
Somebody was telling me something about somebody coming to town, and I said, regardless what's going on, and then I said, oh, I'm not coming to town. Is that you? Next
No,
weekend? Next weekend?
no.
Oh no, it was somebody here. Never mind. I got things going on.
Because they just messaged me yesterday because I messaged them saying, "Hey, I know somebody that's selling this stuff. Do you want to
Ooh,
buy it?" Because I know Jonas likes that stuff, and he was like, nah. But then he's like, "Oh, hey, I also have this thing of yours that I've been borrowing for a long time that I thought I had in my room, but apparently he still has it." And he
what
was
is
like,
it?
and "It's my Game Boy." I
Oh,
let him borrow it. He was like, "Hey, Brandon, you're not using your Game Boy right now, right?" I was like, "No." Can I borrow it so that way I can play my Pokemon games on it? I'm like, yeah, here you go. And I told him, it was like, heads up though. Wait, which one does he have? Oh my god, I have two. I don't know which one he has. I think he may have both.
huh.
Which I thought I had
Uh,
that on me the entire time, but he told me he's gonna be in town next week. I gotta see when he's
there
in
you go.
town and all that now. Because
Hey,
I was in the middle of work when he sent me that, so like I put my phone away, forgot to message him and all that.
yeah, I don't want to cut back off too long, but my one statement is saying they made such a piece of technology with the Game Boy, like the Game Boy Advance. That thing is so old, and that battery still lasts all day. I haven't used it in ages, and I didn't charge it for years, and I got
See,
it out. It has had a charge in it still.
I want see my original one. This screen is basically dead. I want to get it replaced so bad so that I
Mhm.
can play on it. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's not as comfortable as some of the other stuff now, but it's in the nostalgia of it.
And I have it somewhere. It's in a box, I think. I don't think I have it with me. I think I have it at my parents still. And but yeah, dude, that thing is it's so old, and you don't charge the battery for years, and it retains a charge and will last all day. Still, that's insane. We can't
And
even do that now.
also, by the way, you guys, segueing into from this,
Anything, yeah. Segue.
because my Game Boy I think was either a birthday or Christmas gift. And speaking of gifts, see how I kind of made that all connect now?
Yeah,
Gifts. Now we're not gonna talk about I'm not gonna talk about the logistics of money and all that. I'm gonna talk about buying them because if you buy them from online, how long is shipping gonna take? Is it gonna be there before you leave town, before you all get together, or is it gonna get there afterwards? And remember, there could be delays because as you get closer and closer to Christmas, a lot of stuff's being shipped around and all that, and that's gonna cause delays and all that.
and winter weather if it's coming from a northern place.
True,
Delays
true.
happen. Amazon is
Oh,
really good about letting you know when it's gonna arrive for Christmas when you get closer to that. But even then now, like I'm gonna go to Kansas and I have this cool light, which
wait,
is wait the hell over
like
here.
this upcoming week or like for Christmas?
Thursday
Oh,
night.
okay.
Go to see Jordan and go to a wedding, Jake's wedding.
Oh,
Uh
well,
s-
drive safe, man. And tell Jordan said hi.
Absolutely. I will. So I have this bat. I got this light. He doesn't know about this. I got this a bat for Halloween, and it's really cool. And it was like $14 or $12 or something. So I got this cool light, and it's like a neon light, but it's not that expensive. So it
Send it to me later today. I want to see it.
okay. I mean, I could go grab it. It's just sitting on top of the fridge. So I have this light, right? And maybe you'll make a point, and I'll come back with it. But I got it, and I was like, I love this light. It's purple. It's a nice color, and I was like, this is dope. And it's like a cool night light almost. And so I was like, I want to. I said maybe I'll give one for him as like a just a present because I'm gonna be down there for Halloween, and so I'll get him one. Okay. So I went back to order it. I ordered this right at the beginning of October because I was looking for decorations, and it was 2 day shipping. When I went back to look, it was no longer 2 day shipping for the purple one. Obviously, I guess it's the most popular because it's kind of Halloween color and it's a dope color. And it said should arrive between the 26th, 27th. So it's a bracket. And that's like a month away. And so I was like, I leave the 27th. I don't know if it's gonna arrive, but I'll try. And I ordered this like over a week ago. And I say that I've ordered it. It's been a minute. I ordered it beginning October. Like, I'll just gamble. We'll see. If not, I can just return it. But I'd like to give it to him if I can. And so we're gonna see if it shows up. Hopefully, it does. I mean, I guess if it didn't, I technically could give him mine.
Yeah. You know, that
But
actually reminds me of the time I was waiting till last minute before I left my house to go to Mexico like 2 or 3 years ago. And then, after I left, the thing got to my house an hour after I left. And I even messaged you about it because I gave you the key to my house in case I had to leave. And it got here after I left.
is that the MacBook?
Yeah, it was the MacBook, the screen. No, maybe the screen. No, I think it was just the MacBook. I think the screen got here before it.
So this is the bat. So it's kind of white, which at first I thought I didn't like, but it's cool because when it's not on, you can see the silhouette and everything from a distance, which I actually came to like. I do kind of wish the stand was black though, but since I got it and it seems quality, I wanted to order the same one. All right, cool. And then there's the bat.
Nice.
So it's pretty
See,
sweet.
you said bat. I was thinking bat, not that kind of bat. I was thinking baseball
So-
bat.
So yeah, it's pretty dope. Looks super good. It lights up really well. It's not really giving me that purple hue as much. You can kind of see a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's super cool. And so yeah, I put this on top of the fridge. It lights up, and then I have my backlights that are orange, so it's Halloween themed in the apartment.
See, you said bat. I was thinking like a bat for your mob costume. Send me a picture of that. I'll
No.
put it up on the screen if you guys are watching it.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to get. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I gotta get with Brian. He took the picture from the mortgage company. I don't have a picture of it.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, I should have took some pictures. I mean, I had that picture in the bathroom.
Wait, is he down there or what?
Brian?
Yeah.
He's a guy who lives down here. He's a mortgage guy. That was part
Oh,
of
okay,
hosting
okay,
the
my
event.
bad, my bad. You said mortgage. I was thinking from up here, like you, somebody you knew from 24th Century.
No. And so he has an office in our building, and so yeah, I know he took a picture of everybody, so he should have a picture of me. I need to ask him to send it to me. I want to put this up.
All right.
Next point.
Oh, my bad. I thought we were like doing a little like cut here, but
I mean,
okay. So we talked about prepping gifts, like making sure you get them before you leave and all that. We talked about figuring out where you're going, figuring out like prepping everything before you head out,
making a checklist.
making a checklist, checking it twice. You better watch out. He's naughty. He knows he's naughty and nice.
That's kind of rough.
I think I messed up one of the lines. I can't remember I'm pretty sure I messed up one of the lines, but I got the first two right.
I mean, it's a little messed up, but we're just gonna move on.
Yeah.
And so, setting cars and stuff, logistics,
Yeah.
all that different stuff, doing maintenance on your vehicle beforehand if you're gonna travel that way. And if you're not used to, here's another one. We're pretty much done here, but if you're not used to traveling, the right bag size is very important for carry-on and stuff. I don't know the specifics of it, but maybe take a tape measure with you when you go buy one.
And also maybe get some oh god, what are they called? It's like people that get like motion sickness take it sometimes to help them. Nausea pills, I think. Something like that, right? I can't remember what it's called. But you know what I'm
There's
talking
a
about,
word
right?
for it. Dramamine, isn't it?
I think so, maybe. Like, if you get a car sick or
That's for motion sickness.
yeah,
Dramamine. So
I don't get
that's
motion sickness. I just have trouble didn't take off.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all I've got that I can think of.
Also, if you go to the airport, especially on like a day or two before Christmas, may God have mercy on your soul.
It's gonna be that busy. You've done it?
No, it's like always. Like airports are always terrible a day or two before Christmas.
Yeah, because everyone's traveling. I've not
Yeah.
traveled at that time frame, so I don't know. But it sounds like you probably need to get there pretty early.
Oh, and also, I think most Asian places are open on Christmas. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to go out and eat, remember, if you go out
China
to eat on
buffet.
Christmas, or if you go to, if you go to eat out on Christmas Eve, tip your waiter well, and B, never ask them, hey, why aren't they paying you time and a half? And it sucks they're making you work Christmas Eve because you're the reason they're working Christmas Eve.
Because you were the customer and you need to be served.
I remember that still from like 4 or 5 years ago. That's still, I was just smiling. It's like they scheduled me, so I'm here.
It's good
wanna
to be served
say-
because people like you would like to eat today. And
Yeah, I didn't say that because like a lot of times Christmas Eve and the day before Thanksgiving are two of the busiest days for restaurants and like movie theaters and all that kind of stuff because sometimes you have family that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
You go out to, you don't want to go to the movies. You don't have to talk to them for 2 hours. You don't want to cook for everybody 2 days in a row. Take them all out to eat.
There you go. Well, cool.
And where
That's
you
pretty
guys-
much all I got.
Same. And that was my like yearly vent about that because that still ticks me off every year. I still remember
Yeah.
that day too so much. Anyway, you guys, like always, you guys can find us on Instagram at
For the Long Haul Podcast. And if you'd like to send us an email for just because you'd like to do that, or if you want a sponsorship information and stuff like that, ftlhpodcast@gmail.com. Just like For the Long Haul, ftlhpodcast@gmail.com. And we're also on YouTube. So if you'd like to see us, instead of just listening to us, now you can see and listen. Whoa. At For the Long Haul Podcast on YouTube. And, we're just happy to have you no matter where you are.
Alrighty, guys. You guys have a good one. Until the next time, you guys have a good one. Did I
You
just
have a
repeat
good one.
myself
Until
basically?
the next time, you guys have a good one. Goodbye now.
I did repeat myself. Oh well. Bye.